Really happy to announce an upcoming build series I'm going to be doing for the Millenium Mills Milo 1.5 kit. You've probably seen some stuff popping up online. I know Nero is going to be doing a live stream of his build. I believe Steve at Steve Builds is going to be doing one as well. So what is this? Milo is an open source CNC mill designed by Millenium Machines. It has a build envelope of roughly 500 by 160. Milo has been available as a self-sourced project for quite a while, but now LDO Motors, who supplies Voron kits that we sell at West 3D, is coming out with a kit for the Milo version 1.5. West 3D is going to be carrying it. The LDO kit incorporates a number of parts that were user mods that greatly increase the usability and stability of the machine. First, there's the full metal jacket modification that adds CNC machined aluminum plates to the Z column, which increases the rigidity over the previous printed parts. There's the fixated bed that gives you a drilled and tapped fixture plate to use to hold your work down. And the Long John tool setter, which is a variant of Hartkay's sex bolt that we use on Vorons. The kit also comes with some small tools, such as the brass insert tool and some other stuff to get you going, as well as spindle wrenches. Spindles are something that we should talk about. The kits are currently broken into two batches. There's batch 1, which is shipping without a spindle or VFD. And batch 2 will include a spindle and VFD. I purchased one of the batch 1 kits that did not come with the spindle or VFD. This is the spindle that I got. It is a 220 volt, 2.2 kilowatt air-cooled spindle. The LDO kits will be shipping with a slightly smaller spindle. It will be a 1.5 kilowatt. I decided to go to 2.2 because I don't want to have to drive the spindle as hard. I also went 220 volts because I have a lot of 110 outlets in my garage. They're all on one circuit. So I don't want to trip that breaker by running too many things on that circuit. So I do have an available 220. The other thing is that by running the spindle at 220 volts, it uses less amperage than a 110 spindle would take. So if I was to run it at 110, it would draw enough to really push that circuit close to its tripping point. 220, it'll be on its own circuit, and I have plenty of amperage headroom. The other part of that is the VFD, which is this box. Basically, the control board hooks into here through some of these terminals on the bottom. And this is the control interface between the fly board that's going to be driving all the stepper motors and the spindle itself. This is essentially kind of like a PWM box. Like we use PWM to change the speed of the fans on our printers. This is kind of a hardware PWM for the spindle. So I've been putting everything together as much as I can, getting my parts and printing parts because there are a lot of printed parts. They are chunky, where the Voron spec print is normally 4 walls with 5 top and bottom layers. Most parts, like this ballast box, this goes behind the spindle, and I actually need to put sand and epoxy in here as a vibration deadener. This is 4 walls with 6 top and bottom layers. This is also one of the hand wheels that there will be a handle here, and you can crank this to manually move the bed. Again, this is 4 perimeters, 6 top and bottom. The printed spindle mount is actually 6 walls, 12 top and bottom. So that's going to take a little while, but I am printing that stuff. I'm just going with basic materials. So I'm using our in-house ambrosia filament. This is black ABS. It's been printing really nicely. I have had no problems with any kind of lifting or anything else. And then my accents are going to be done in galactic green, which is a really nice, slightly darker green that has flecks in it. So that will be a nice splash of color on the machine. I already have a red printer and a black and silver printer, and my Micron will eventually be bright green and gray, so I thought this would be a nice color. So I wasn't planning on doing live streams just because, you know, Nero and Steve are going to have that covered. For Nero, this is a toy. He's used to working on humongous, you know, Bridgeport machines, and Steve is great at putting stuff together. So I don't feel that I necessarily need to cover that same material. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see live streams of Build, but I'm kind of planning on just doing some quick check-in videos here and there during the actual construction. And I want to point out that, you know, there is going to be a lot of content about this machine coming up. As I said, I think Nero starts his build tomorrow as of this recording. The reason to watch me is because I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no machining experience. The construction of the machine itself doesn't seem to be too difficult, but boy howdy do I have a lot to learn. It runs RepRap firmware. I have no experience with that. Then I need to dig into probably Fusion to figure out how to do my actual tool paths and generate the G-code to drive the machine. So there's probably going to be some mistakes made along the way, hopefully nothing that, you know, damages anything or me, but it should be an interesting thing. It's really the biggest learning curve since I started 3D printing however many years ago. If you're interested in getting one of these machines, we are selling them at West 3D. So everything is on a pre-order basis right now. Batch 1 kits, which we have very few available slots left, should be in the next couple of weeks as of February 8th. Those Batch 1 kits, which do not include the motor or the VFD, are $999. Batch 2 kits, which should be in March or April, are $1,299. And exclusive to West 3D, if you pre-order a Batch 2 kit with the motor and spindle, which will be delivered sometime late March, early April, hopefully, we will give you a 10% discount on any replacement parts for as long as we carry the product. So if you break anything or you need spares, you can get a good discount getting it through us. Hopefully you'll come back and see what happens as I learn how to build and run a CNC mill, and I'm sure hilarity will ensue. So hope to see you on the next one.